Hi everyone, this is Anil. In this video, we'll talk about two features. One is Analytics Center and Analytics QA. Analytics Center is part of the platform. It's available as part of Workspace, but for Analytics QA, you need to have natural language query plugin installed, and that's a subscription-based plugin. So let's get started. So to access Analytics Center, we'll go to Agent Workspace. And here on the left navigation, you should see a new icon called Analytics Center. Uh, so that will give you access to all the KPIs for which you have access. So if you see here, this is the Analytics Center. When you click on that, it gives you all the KPIs for which you have access. And you can see the trend, score, change, and target as the columns. I mean, this is very similar to what you see in the platform when you look at the uh, uh, indicators, right? So the data is very similar, but now this is available in the workspace. And you can also search, like how you can search data in any list in workspace. So if you want to look at the KPIs for incident, you can search with that keyword, and you should be able to see the incident ones, incident indicators. And let's say we want to open this one, average age open incidents. So it opens up something called as KPI details, where you can see the trend of this KPI, right? And because this is a formula indicator, you cannot see the records. But if it is a uh, automated indicator, then you should be able to see the records. This little button or this switch will be enabled. And you also have an option to filter this data via the breakdowns. So these are all the breakdowns which are available on this indicator: priority, category, assignment, group, state, and age. And you can search for the breakdown elements available using keywords. So let's say I want to search high as a priority, then I can use a keyword high, and then I can select and apply. That way now this data is only showing high priority incidents. You can also see that coming up here where it says average age open incidents, which are filtered by priority is equal to high. And again, depending on the data which is available, you'll see the corresponding months coming up here. You also have an option to change the date, uh, and the data will come up for that particular day. So that's about the KPI details and Analytics Center. Now, once we install the plugin which I mentioned, natural language query, then we will see Analytics QA. So let's install the plugin. So we'll go to plugins, and then we'll go to natural language query, click on install. And as I mentioned, this is a subscription based plugin. So just activate that. The plugin installation is complete. Now we will look at the Analytics QA feature. So let's go back to Analytics Center. So I'll open Agent Workspace and navigate to Analytics Center. So once I open that, now we will see a different landing page. So previously we saw the KPIs for which the user has access to. Now we are seeing this search option, and the KPIs are coming up in the bottom, right? So now we can search for, let's say, average, and then so once you start entering a keyword, it will uh, bring up the matching KPIs, right? So we'll say average age of uh, then we'll say average age of incidents. So this should give me average age of last update of open incidents. So I can open this one, or uh, so let me see if I have to open the other one, the previous one that we looked at, which is, let me just search for this here. And okay, so let me drop that. So it's incident. Yeah, so So if you want this indicator to come up, let's try to search for that. Let's say average age open. Yeah, so if you search for average age open, then it will bring up this one. But if you just type for average age, then it brings up this. I mean, again, so it I mean, I mean, the amount of columns which come back, amount of results that come back are limited. So that's where this one is not coming up. But there's a mechanism to improve the search results. So yeah, and the performance also improves over time, as you can see here, right? So yeah, so now let's go with this. So average age of open incidents. Now you can directly access this indicator from here. So it's more like you're asking a question versus trying to look up for the KPI. So if you don't know that a KPI exists with those keywords, then this is a better approach where you can use a search option, right? You can also try searching with incident as a keyword, and it should bring up all the incident related KPIs. And it is also trying to bring up uh, information such as tables and so on. So in addition to just the KPIs, it also brings up tables and columns, right? So it's not only looking up in the KPIs, but it is also doing a little more than that, right? Okay, so that's about that. And then you have an option to improve results, right? So here we have some tips in terms of what phrases you have to use and so on. So let's say we want to look at trend over time, then we have all these options by day, by week, and so on. So let's try average age of incidents by week. So if you try this, then of open incidents by week, average age of open incidents by week. Weekly. So let's try again. How can we improve the results, right? So we want trend over time by month slash by monthly. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, let's try the exact same example and see what happens. Okay, so we try daily average of business duration for incidents. So it brought these results, right? So yeah, so you get the point. So basically it tries to improve this search results as you try more, uh, as you give more data to this engine. But basically you can ask a question and then it responds back with matching KPIs and other information such as columns and tables and so on, right? So that's how this uh, analytics QA works. So we'll do a quick recap. So that we talk about two features. One is Analytics Center and Analytics QA. So Analytics Center is part of Agent Workspace where you see an icon and then you click on that. It brings up this page. So if you don't have natural language query, uh, yeah, so if you don't have this plugin enabled, then you will not see Analytics Center this section. You will just see the KPIs, and once the plugin is enabled, then you will start seeing this section here. So the difference between these two is here you have to look up for your KPIs, so you should know what KPIs are present, or at least you should know like for what uh, processes the KPIs are present, and you have to search using the search options which are available here on the indicator name. You can also sort and so on based on target score and other columns. But here using Analytics QA, you can ask a question and then it tries to match the corresponding records and then it brings up the results, right? And you also have an option to see how you can get improved results, right? In terms of what kind of phrases you have to use depending on what kind of data you're looking at. And then there are some examples as well. So yeah, so that's how this works. Thank you for watching. This is Anil.